It's Jen. This is another Jen is Zen episode of Reframing Me. In these short bits, I like to give you something to meditate on or journal about. Today, I'd like you to think about this. May I make the most of today? Am I making the most of this day? Am I making the most of this moment? It's mid-August, and while my kids still have 2 weeks until school starts, my socials are flooded with back-to-school content. Back-to-school content has always bothered me because as I literally led this entire journey with last year, I absolutely love summer, and I just hate the thought of it ending. For the last 17 years, no, I lie. 16 years, because my first summer as a mom was me packing up my house with an absolute literal newborn in a baby Bjorn for us to move from Ohio to North Carolina for me to start a new job. So I'm not sure that I can say the same about that number, probably more because I think I was sleepwalking through it and I don't remember a lot. But even still, I have never had any issue making the most out of each and every summer. One of my very best friends and I were lucky to get to spend most every day of nearly all of our earlier mom summers together, making sure that we were making the most of our summers. This year, though, back to school is hitting quite different. Now, if I hadn't already promised y'all back in the episode the last, if I hadn't said that I would not say it, I would be phrasing all of this differently. But because I've at least got to hold on to my word a little bit here, I am going to reframe how I say this. Okay, this back to school is exciting for us because I have a freshman, a sophomore, and a senior. It's their 1 year that they are all together in high school. But we're putting a pin in that one for right now, though, because that is not happening in my head just yet. Y'all, I still have almost 2 weeks before that particular anxiety sets in. No, we'll unpin it that one later. The anxiety of the day is still on summer for me. Did we have a good summer? Did we have a great summer? Did we have a special summer? Did we make the most of our summer? Did I make the most of summer? I mean, I think I did, but of course, that's where the spiral begins, right? If I were to give an honest assessment, I would say that I have never had a summer that I have been so busy doing so little. Does that make sense at all? I feel like from the minute my alarm goes off at 5:50 a.m. so that I can do the 6 a.m. wake up for football practice until I hopefully get to close my eyes post Wordle by 10:40 p.m., I really am doing something constantly. But I've been to the beach like a handful of times, absolutely max. And I should probably remind you that the beach is less than a mile away from us. We have been in the pool altogether well less than a handful of times. Yes, we had an absolutely amazing vacation when we traveled to Greece. So we were super lucky to get to do that. But really, outside of the trip, we didn't do much for sure. I mean, I used to be able to put together memory books and slideshows of fun summer photos, for heaven's sake. And this year, outside of those vacation pictures, I'm not even going to let my mind go to how few fun photos I probably have from this summer because I am not looking to intentionally expedite this spiral. We'll just leave it at there wasn't a lot of picture-worthy activity. So what was I doing all day, every day? What was I doing every evening? What were we doing every weekend? Why was I so busy? And why am I so tired when I should feel rested and recharged for fall? So did we have a great summer? Did we make the most of our summer? Did I make the most of summer? Well, I can tell you that I closed every one of my morning meditations with the intention of, may I make the most of today. So I sure would like to think so. At least I intended to. But then I get caught up playing the comparison game, comparing our summer to other people's summers. And yes, I will totally admit that, quote, others is not, in fact, others' actual summers. It is, in fact, others' social media curated summers, 100%. So definitely not the same thing at all. And I'm playing the comparison game with myself, with ourself, with our own prior summers. And you know what? That is just as ridiculous as comparing it to someone's curated summer because we we aren't the same people. We don't lead the same life. So no, our summer can't be the same as it was. So no, great summer, special summer, making the most out of our summer. There's no way that it will be the same either. It's really a great metaphor for all of this as our kids grow up, right? This constant growth and change that we are always talking about, whether it's behavior or rules or conversations or holidays or vacations or activities or whatever. We aren't the same people and we don't lead the same life. So it can't be the same. One isn't necessarily better or worse, but it's just not the same. And that's okay. Since having the kids, my single solitary goal has always been, well, wait, no, that's a lie. I always have had the goal of getting a nice tan. I know it's not healthy, but please don't yell at me. I do wear sunscreen, but my Eastern European heritage skin does tan relatively easily regardless. And I try to be super safe and super healthy person who makes good choices. But ultimately, I am just happier tan. And I think that I'm actually a nicer person when I'm tan. So I'm sorry, it's bad. I know. Okay. But my two goals in the summer have been, yes, a pretty tan. And even more important, my main goal has been to make the kids happy, to make the kids have great summers, which by proxy makes me have great summers. Well, even without asking them, I can tell you they have had a freaking amazing summer. They have been happy as can be. And I will say that I have at least partially played a big role in facilitating that happiness. No, it hasn't been in beach trips and playgrounds and zoos and amusement parks and water parks and picnics and all of the 10 bazillion other activities that we used to do. No, it was in drop offs and pickups and waiting up at night for them to get home and washing loads and loads and loads of beach towels and stocking endless supplies of Gatorades in the fridge and little snacks in the pantry for all of their friends. It was in the hundreds of conversations that we had about football and workouts and getting to know all of their friends. And you know what else it was in? It was in the hours and hours that I have worked on this podcast, whether it was in episodes or ads or the website or my socials, making TikToks or just thinking and planning. It was in the time that I spent working out or meditating or listening to podcasts. It was in the moments that I took for myself in between playing fraternity house mom, because I know that I would not be a healthy mom of teenagers setting us all up for a healthy relationship in the years to come if I still spent all of my time focused just on them and only worried about making them happy. So yes, I would ultimately conclude that yes, we had a great summer. We had a special summer. I made the most of this summer. I made the most of this summer because I am striving to make the most of this moment, not that moment. That moment is in the past. And what worked then isn't the same as what works now. And I can't worry about the next one either. This is the only moment that is for sure and that we can control. And no, we cannot ever control what comes at us or anyone around us, but we can control our thoughts and our actions in this moment. So, can you lead your days with the intention to always make the most of this day? Make the most of this moment. Thank you so much for listening. Now, I know I always end every show with that, but I just want you to know that I really, truly am grateful for you listening to this episode and the last and all of the ones prior and all of the ones to come. I just love knowing what a great little community of support we have growing here. Please remember to follow the show so that you don't miss out on any new content. And please share it with your friends who might also benefit from or enjoy the show. That's how we will continue to grow our community. Reach out to me on socials, on Instagram and TikTok at Reframing Me. And on Facebook, it's Reframing Me. And join the Facebook group, Reframing Me, the podcast community, to connect with other women who are also raising teens and rediscovering themselves. Until next time, be well, communicate, and make the most of today.